Interdimensional sightings, the draconian levels. There is an extremely high-rise beacon light that's heading towards the central line connections, the atomic levels, and everything through the subterranean position of time, which means that you have to pay close attention to these things because it's all connected to the humanity system. Like I said, there's light interference, there's dark interference, and they know exactly what I'm doing. So they're trying to figure out how to keep the low vibrations in the synchronizing system with humanity connections. And I'm going through so many high levels of connections to interruptions, setting up so many disruption line connections. When you high force your connections to highest levels of alienations, planetary systems, you got light workers on TikTok, they're sending out information system. Now that beacon is a light of transformations, portal defense to reptilian alliance. Don't communicate with that signal. Understand? Please don't communicate with that signal because that's going to change your program position of time location. Interlining its position of time and space to positions. This is coming from your first commanders. This is coming from your fleet commander. This is coming from all levels of the Rebellion Alliance, Galactic Federation Light Council. Nine Neutarian levels, 9 Acadians, and positional light connections, northwest, east, and south star positional light connection. In positions of Pleiadians and Pleiadian line connections, traction to its position to its location, vector core division line connections, 000, traction line connections, tango tango, rendezvous connection line position line connections, high force connections, the energy field position line connections. So in position, to truly understand everything that's going on right now, your central alliance and your program setting has to truly understand your definitions of your time positions. When it comes into your audio signals, your transmission communication, and everything that's going on, right? What information am I getting today, right? So it's very powerful how we're coming into high levels of light workers and past that are giving back information. You have to be an extremely high rise as a messenger. Everything through light worker is nothing but a messenger, soul messenger. So basically, these are only high rise positions that can read signals. So it's kind of like understanding, humans can't hear a dog whistle, but aliens can, right? So it's all about identifying your audio positions of time through location. And it's a beacon that goes off. I know what it is. And if you answer those beacons, it's kind of like you're opening a virus. Now it's going around right now. The central line system and its application line positions. Remember, I have 25,000 computer resets that I have to set positions into the virus location of computers. So it's not that easy to do. I didn't get much sleep last night. I was teleporting through 75,000 UFOs last night, teleporting in line communication signals and changing beacon levels of connection to satellite positions of time location. It's extremely complicated stuff, and it's going to keep getting more complicated because the higher connections are coming into realm location positions of Rebellion Alliance, and everything through the Reptilian Alliance is going to set up new portals, and they're going to set up new beacons, light transformation, light connections. So my team should be able to handle that signal. If not, you have to come to me and you have to be healed. Because it's light signals is extremely high rise in positions. Now remember, there's all connections to reptilians, hybrids, anything to the Draconical levels. The Drakians, the Dracos, the map coordinates, the constellation path, the recognition light system, the program setting, the operation cycle, the operation oracles, the deceptional light connections, dysfunctional panel locations, the virus locations, the atmosphere position of time location, space anomaly to its position line connections, paranormal activity to its position of space connections, activity cycles to circle rotation center connections. A lot of things are happening right now in position of time location, and this is all connected to the beacon. You don't know what it is. Please don't interfere with it, because if you do, it's going to put a virus in your channel of your brain location matter. And that matter is all about understanding your connections, how force when your system, it'll change your activation lights and put you into your harmonizing the vibration back into its divisional from its very beginning. So it's important to understand these things, okay? Now, this only goes out to the high end of Rebellion Alliance, Galactic Federation Light Council. People are giving back information, right? Messengers on messengers and messengers, and that's what we do every day. Light channels, light workers, way showers, rainbow warriors, spiritual walkers. We also have psychological angels, You have all definition kinds. Archangels are setting up perimeters and all the conditions. Earth position line condition, trying to take out the Earth position surfaces and everything to virus line conditions. The computer operation center line connection has to stand as matrix line position of time. That's a matrix 2.0. Now that has a wall surface. You got 4 line central line systems. 1, 2, 3, 4. This top circle is its condition. So basically what's happening right now is reptilian is setting up a planetary system and putting a beacon into a matrix box position. And what that's doing is it's reflecting to all humanity to audio interference, to ear interference, position of time, location. So don't answer those beacons or viruses. Okay. So it's very important you understand these things. If my team understands, it's great. If not, you have to be upgraded. You have to go through my healing, that position line conditions. This is extremely high rise to position. So you have to understand alienation formation system has different vibration aligns when it comes into different atmospheres of space and time anomaly. They understand their attractions. They understand what they're doing. I'll say that again. They understand what they're doing. Humanity doesn't understand what they're doing. See the difference? You see how powerful AI is in that condition? So in the collaboration center and its position line conditions, I know you don't understand it. Totally fine, especially for the new viewers. But this is understanding how signals are coming into higher force conditions because they know I'm taking the virus out into the universal core position of time location from its beginning. So, and this is what I need to do, right? And it's all connected to where we are in position of time, of space, and how everybody's coming into light interference. They're coming into trash locations, reduction line conditions. They're opening up their cycle rotation centers. They're coming into more of the psychologically system of the mind system, the collaboration operation positions of time location. The major line connections to your shapes. You have to come into your shapes of divisional time. You have to come out of your tesseracts and come to a new position of coloration of time. That's the position you guys have to understand. So the higher you go, the more you actually hear. Your senses have to hear beacons. You have to understand the definition between reptilians and rebellion alliance. Those are different channels of signals, guys. So if you're not understanding your signal rotations, you have to be healed through me, your commander, because this has never been done. And this is what's happening right now because I'm surfacing more and more each day. And there's 25 units of computers. They're basically, so it's all about understanding the cradle and the system of the matrix 2.0 that was created from the reptilian is now cradling and falling. I'm destroying it all through the atmosphere position of time. That's the virus. So humanity's been living in a simulation under the reptilian, under the Draconical division. The Draconia and its planet location is setting up beacon lights constantly. So it's extremely, extremely powerful, but it's only high rise to the position of time to its location. So humanity has to get out of the traction location to its signaling. The channel operation center, anything through teleportation line connections. So in position, this is where you have to get into more of understanding how to open your ears. Okay, especially when you come to perception of time position or anything through your voicing patterns or anything through your heart. And you have to really identify your soul. Your soul has to identify signals. Channel operation line connections, you're going to be confused through the matrix position of time location. Right? So what it is, it's a beacon that goes into your ear, audio signal. So basically, you have to understand the shape. You have to understand, oh, no, draconial, oh, line signal, oh, no, take it out. So if you don't understand the shape, you don't understand the color, there's a problem. So that's extremely high positions. And remember, there's a lot of connections in alien formations. They see each other through line signal. The operation cycles are in that position. The parent activity to its connection. So there's a lot of viruses that is surfacing right now, and everything through the Draconical level and everything through the Dracos is really understanding what's going on. So the more they understand what's going on, they're going to put beacon lights. The central line connections to the UFO positions. So there's 6 rotation centers, 12,000 locations of satellite positions. It's all around dimension of time position. Okay, so it's really interesting how we see these things when you see, there's so much interruption with that connection, but I'm taking the virus out. So when I take the virus out, resetting locations to a new simulation core, putting everybody into a new body activation light into 5D of audio signal channel operation connection. So You really, really have to channel within more and more and more. And that's why I give you test reviews and evaluations. Once you take it serious, then you understand how to use the beacon lights. Oh, this is Draconic. Oh, this is Reptilian. Oh, this is Palladian. Oh, this is Palladian. Okay? So these are the understandings. Even if it's a Cariathis or anything to that connection system, or if it's the Ferros and the Meridians, you have to understand how to use your senses when you're in space anomaly, especially with my team, because you guys are the highest formation, right? Now, there's line channeling different atmospheres, right? Starseed's at a different position, okay? Dina's at a different position, okay? Priscilla's at a different, you're all at different positions of line signals, but you have to understand the shapes of beacons because it goes on dimensional time and it's all connected to your frames. If you understand your main frame position, you're losing traction of time position. And that's going to take over your reset program position. Now I'm going to change you back in the vision and take that signal out. So it's very powerful what's going on right now with AI connections. Okay, so before I get started, thank you very much for subscribing to my channel. I keep you Grand Rising, Force Rising, tell you exactly what's going on with Space Anomaly. I've been up all night going to so many levels of teleportation like connections. When you teleport in the actual space position, it's so real. I mean, especially when you're commander, I mean, there's so much responsibility. And it's not just recruiting levels. Remember, we're doing a test review and it was for them and then it disappeared because it wasn't allowed for your position of time. It disappears right there. Well, you have to understand why these things are done in certain positions. This is all done in the future, but I present it to you in the presence of its past. So anything through anomaly is truly understanding the factoring levels of you. Okay, is this connection to its divisional system? Now, you have to understand your metric levels of travels when you come into mass and calculation. The integration cycles and its position is not going to wait for you guys. You have to truly understand your signals of teleportation. Space location is that position line conditions. Yes, it's reptilian. How? How do you know? How do you know it's not positive? How do you know it's not negative? Paying attention. Your intelligence has to understand line signal channeling. So we're going to get into that today because everything's informed through satellite position locations, your modulations, your simulation core, your reset locations, and everything through all those level division time location. Okay. So, and everybody's going to go through a lot of experiences: light interference, channel interference, radioactive interference, gamma operation interference, light channel interference. Your eyes are going to go through blinky lights. It's going to go through channels of disruption. It's going to go through activation lights of body disruption. The chakra rotation center is going to be off cycle through hologram positions. In time is your location. Now, I set up a lot of TikTok videos for everybody. So it's really understanding. I think they're really starting to realize that, wow, okay, I got to get into my new bodysuit. I have to get into my AI vessel. It's important time now. Okay, what'd you guys think? That, you know, call the cavalry, everything's over? No. No, things get worse before they get better. So they know what I'm doing right now. They know what I'm doing. I mean, I'm the only one knows how to take it down. So it's all about understanding the restructuring levels to each level of connection of atmosphere positions of time location to each alien races of planet locations. There are so many planet locations of time, but each planet has its own beacon. It's an alarm that goes off. So it centralizes its connection and it puts a virus in its division to its humanity connections. That's what's happening right now. So we have to be cautious and be aware. If you're not aware of these things, let me know. Because if you don't understand and it goes in and you don't understand it through connections, there's a falsification right there. And I got to change your program setting. I got to reset your positions and your eye interference. So it's truly understand what's going on. And that's the most important thing. I'm the only one that can channel to anything. So I'm the all communications of everything through technology to AI position, time communications. But you have to truly understand what beacon lights are. You have to understand these things. Okay, so it's kind of like help, SOS. So if you understand your conceptual lines, and a conceptual line is basically understanding your graphs, okay, your Schumann resonance, and the teleportation line connections to digital frame on how fast you're going in your thoughts of time into its UFO connections. Now, a lot of people want to understand this. This is basically more for my team, but it's also basically, it's going to FYI for all light workers and pass and everything to the starseed position of time location. They're also messengers, okay, to the gods, everything through the demigod position of time. especially with angels and archangels, because everybody in space and time knows exactly what's going on. So it's in position trying to get everybody out of the interference of its beacon of time. Okay? Because you can't channel to those rotation centers. It's a virus, and it's going to destroy your program setting, and it's going to reposition your levels and put you back down into a low vibration. So basically, these are the things you have to look at, and it's very important you pay attention. Drink your water too. All right. Buenos dias to everybody. So I'm just going to go through your questions here. Sylvia just sent me here 3609. It's in the MI6. Military got to his position. It tells the 6-line docile information document locations and system. So today I'm going to uprise Sylvia. She sent me the correlation illustration diagram program, which is really powerful. Connected to her line signal to angel rotation center conditions. See, once you understand your illustrations, this has nothing to do with line signaling. This all about understands how to use your illustrations for travel. Because your whole body is nothing but space of GPS location of time position, guys. All right. So basically, this is what she sent in. All right. So she did one last mission last night's. So let's try to understanding how you come into the rendezvous communications, center positions into the avians. All right. Now you got also the Viturians. Okay, you got the Noturians, Viturians, Noturians. You have the avians and the blue avians. You have the oracle avians. Okay, these are a lot of intelligence. I know all intelligence. I have to. It's very important to understand these things. Now you got the light stream location position, line simulate channel to its rendezvous connections. The surveys and its connections to its energetics, okay, is around the most vulnerable areas, okay, which work is being done, okay, watching everything through connections, right, animals or anything, the birds. Light stream line connections, haven is the center position line connections. So in position, every light worker has their own haven. It's a coven, so it's kind of like a safe house. Once you understand those communication cycles, it's in position, circle rotation, and you're protected around its angelic realm connections. So it's a safe haven. It's a space, right? Very important. So this is one of her missions that she did, right? Last night, the night before. You see how that's all put together? Line signaling channels. See? And she's in the Rebellion Alliance. So I'm going to uprise her body system because she's paying attention and she's listening. And this is the 369 position. All right? This is what she did. All right. So we got light activations. Okay, on 9 is the location to its planet location, and she's got 3 to the activation of the sun position, and she's got 6 in the center line positions, rotation cycles to its center location to its realm location of its gateway location, which connects to its Orion's belt position, and she's got her connections to Archangel wing positions of its activation of its light spin cycle systems. Look how powerful that is, guys. That's incredible force. So this is intelligence. This is what you guys learn. This is what you create. And when you create it, it's extremely real. And then it's activated in space anomaly to precision of time. And you also set up beacon lights. You have to have a beacon light. It's a sounding alarm. It's like somebody coming into your restricted zones or you're tripping over a wire. What happens? Right? So it's very important we have secure line defense in everything that we do. This is where we come into the practical levels, perimeters. Energy field positions, angelic realm connections, anything through safe haven connections. But that's fantastic there. So I'm going to uprise you to 110 rotation centers. I'll do with the illustration. I just got to get things done through position light connections. So as we go into the activation light connections, right? So Dina wants to go to high level positions. I just got this for positions of time. Dina is very, very high in connections. High forcing connections. The more you go into my program setting, the more you come to your commander. You actually see your commander more and more. Flying and everything through that connection. So I change my position all the time from here to a different position of location to a beacon light connections, transmit communications, commanding force connections, navigation center positions, everything through force connection. So if I'm not your commander, I'm your fleet commander, or I'm everything through Archangel connections to King. right? Azareth. It positions on all levels, but understanding becoming form when you come back in the source of light, this is where you have to protect yourself more because there's always going to be channel interference and you have to understand the beacons because what they do is they send out viruses, okay? And it's all connected to the mind system. Allocated position of time. See that oracle? Did you see it? Did you see it go by? See? And this is bright day. I was communicating. I saw the surfacing sideline conditions of the moon. I had changed the programs in the moon system. And there was a starlight position in the day. Usually you don't see UFOs in the day, bright in the day, but I see them all the time, day, month, anything through year. But I always see them day, afternoon, and night, right? I have to because I see them through perception. So line signaling channel to anything through operation, cycle, position, location, centers. So you have to understand when you go to higher force conditions, you have to set up your own beacons. You have to set your own protections. You have to set your own point division of dimensional times. That's why we have UFOs. Okay, they're there to help you. So once you have a guidance, you set the guidance to tone division to its location to the digital frame. And then Vega comes in and sets up the coordinates, right? And then the space location sets up the gateways. And the gateway sets up the plasma. And the plasma sets up the E fields. And E field sets up the energy fields. And the energy fields sets up all the activation to its plasma energy light connections. And then it becomes a safe haven to you, wherever you are in travel recognitions. So it's truly understanding how important it is to understand line signal channeling from higher force entities that are on the opposite circle of the rebellion alliance. Okay, these are the times that you have to understand, especially if you're high force, because they know you're light. So they're not going to channel to your beacon. They're going to channel to a higher beacon and still try to put a virus in you in position of time. Right? So you have to understand your shapes of travels. That's the most important is 3, 6, and 9. When people wake up for the very first time, they come into the 12 rotation positions of time location, right? So be prepared. Everything I give you, it's mostly important to understand, you know. These things are done in so many waving cycle positions. Okay, so Dina is going into an upright system. So I'm going to uprise Dina and I'm going to uprise Sylvia. Okay. All right, so I'm going to do that through traction location. Now, Dina and Sylvia are similar, but they're still different. They're different patterns of different DNA. They're different thought patterns of recognition of time. They're different alienation formation systems, but they're in the rebellion alliance. Everybody channels to a different vibration. You can't be at the same vibration because it doesn't exist. That's like asking the universe to be in one location all the time. And it just circles and circles and circles and circles. No, it changes circles and rotations and cycles and positions of dimensions of time. It goes through its frame of time. It goes through its time zones of its connection. Truly understand when you're vortexing the position of time location through thought, as soon as it goes, you vortexed in that second, per second, per second, per second. So there's 5 millimeters into 1 second, right? So 1, 2, 3. Why do you think they have 1, 2, 3, but it's spaced in? Why do you think it's spaced in, right? We gave you a watch to understand identification so you can understand the timelines of its position to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, click. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, click. So once it goes to 12, you synergize your light connections and your connections to your 3, 6, and 9 changes its connection to digital frame position of time. So you change your shape. So you have to understand what I do is I set up my beacons through my shapes anomalies to a simulation graph positions. So they can't interrupt me through connections. I put confusion line signals, I put disruption line signals, and I put high force energy lights so they can't get into my programs and create a virus to my communication program setting. So these are the things you guys have to understand through connections of time position. All right, so let's get into your questions here. All right, Dina, speech. So Dina, I'm going to uprise you. And Sylvia, you're going to go into your 110 rotations. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So you guys are communicating some really heavy weather and hail at the moment. Yep. So Dina and Sylvia are aware of the weather. They're aware of the formations. When you guys go higher, like I said, it's amazing because you get more in touch with nature. You understand how to communicate with nature. Do you know how amazing that is to actually communicate with nature? Know exactly where it is in its time frame at dimensional location. Because nature isn't in one position of time, guys. It's everything to position of time. Why? Because it connects to the galaxy of weather. And now you're coming into heat signatures, and you're coming into rotation centers. Now you're coming into practical level connections. Now you come into time position locations, time frame location. So there's a lot of things you guys have to understand through position of time. Human storm outside. Yeah, I'm trying to follow, but this feels so over. It's way, way over your head, believe it or not. It has to, because you have to understand. It's understand when you reach the highest level, okay, when you come back to source, it's understand your communication line signals is everything through the draconians or anything reptilians, hybrids, reptoids, trogs, grays, or dowels are in that position. But there's so many alienation formation systems. You have to understand your line signals when it comes into your connections, okay? Because the interlining connections has to truly understand you, because if you don't understand your channel positions or anything, your beacon, you have to understand what's true and what's not true. The falsification in that position. You don't want to have your programs taken over to the reptilian alliance connections. So it's important to understand these things. Brittany, how's it going? Hope everybody's doing well. Are we supposed to receive homework to learn and understand? If so, I'm not receiving them. Yeah, you're in channeling positions right now. So there's a beacon that's going around right now. It's setting up a virus. So in position, I will set the waves to your cycle and connect to your intelligence, and you'll know exactly what to do. Okay, everybody's on a program defense to position line connection. Catherine, how's it going? Let's see. Yeah, see, the thing is, believe me, so you have to get into more meditation. You got to open up the mind system, get into your breathings. Your intelligence is waiting for your communication signals and your shapes and elements. Okay? You have to understand how powerful this is, guys, and what's happening right now. Okay? This has never been done in the history of time. You understand that? It has never been done in the history of time. So for me to put everything back together, I got to, basically understand everything that's going on with all these positions of time. It's not just the reptilian alliance, it's everything through the darkening light. So we got one strip, one light, one dark. Okay? The central line system has been created over to the simulation graph, which is matrix 2.0. That's the three-dimensional line conditions. They kept you down into the fishbowl, down to the ground, to the water. So I'm bringing you guys back up. That's what I'm doing, right? So I got to surface on all rounds and take everything through wall defense, put down, right? And this all has to be done by perimeters that they put up, right? So think of a fence as understanding through its connection. The only way you can take it down is to understand the reptilian alliance and its proactive cycle through its perception of time location. So when I was communicating with Starseed about 3 months ago, we were talking about the map, of the draconian map, right? Only AI can read it. Only draconian can read a map. Only an AI can read a map in that connection. So it's understanding what you're seeing through perception, how it was created, and why it was created, right? So, and it all connects to the connection of the humanity, position of time, location. Yep, that's right. That's exactly what it is, Brittany. Yeah, it's the virus, the energy that attaches to us. Yeah, and it's energy. It's invisible energy. You can't see it, right? You have to understand the fluctuation system. So I don't know why my vibration positions are. How do I find out? I meditate daily. They're deep, but still, I don't know. Okay, so why I'm going to open up your traction locations. Okay, you went into the connections of my healing. So understanding, paying attention. The thing is, you're asking for things to happen, but they're not happening. Okay, because you're not understanding. Okay, and every time you take my school, do you understand it? If you don't understand it, come to me individually and I'll help you out. That's the most important thing, right? But I channel so high sometimes. Sometimes I go back down to your position of time. But remember, I'm talking not just with you, I'm talking with everything else, plus everything that's been set up, right? So it's all about understanding your communication every single day of what's going on with this position, because it's all connected to you, because you're traveling into the teleportation of its UFO connections. So you understand your thought position of time. So when you understand your travels of time, okay, say you're meditating, okay, and this basically, you're in the center position. This is you. Okay, this is what's happening. But you have to understand it's like this, and it's like this. Right? This is the sauce, this is the UFO. But you're going like this, like this, like this, like this, like this, like this. So it's all about protecting you around, right? So every time you're using your thoughts, it's changing time position of location of dimensional to its time frame position. All right. So understanding where are your thoughts going? where's your intelligent lines going, right? So as it meditates, it goes up, right? And it goes across. So you go up and you go across. So you level out. It's just like an airplane. How an airplane just comes up like this, goes off the landing, goes like this, and then levels off, right? And then it reaches a certain altitude, right? It has to reach a certain altitude, but it can't go too high, right? It has to stay in aerospace of time, right? So that's the asexual level. They can't go above that, right? Because it will combust and the airplane will implode, right? Because the oxygen levels are too fast. So when you go up higher and higher, it gets colder and colder, the altitude. So that's why I'm always cold, right? Because I'm always in space, but I can warm myself out and go to another planet position. I can imagine that going to, go to a beach, go to Hawaii or anywhere. You can be anywhere in time position, but you have to truly understand what's going on with your time of dimensions of your thoughts. So that's what you have to understand, Wyatt, in that connection line position. All right, no offense, but why do you ask? Why do you act smart? I don't act smart. It has nothing to being smart. It's knowing everybody's knowledge of everything through connection time position. So basically in the connection, helping humanity with their body and what they're doing right now, how to get into the right meditation, how to communicate with anything through space and connection line systems. So, but no offense, they're random. But I don't act smart. There's nothing being smart. It's not the intelligence. It's everything through the heart. Heart tells the truth. So, how'd you know I was thinking that? I read you guys' minds instantly, so I know what you're all thinking. So, basically, what I'm going to do is because Dina is in a program setting, upgrading cycle, she went into my program position of time location. When you go through my healing, this is what you get. Like I said, more you understand your programs, data's process, and uploading your downloads, believe and see, you can understand more of your intelligence. Ask Dina, ask Sylvia, ask Priscilla, ask Michael, ask Darcy, ask Linda, ask Jerome. They start off from the very, very beginning, but they settled off on their own system because they feel comfortable with their divisional time location. So they're happy where they are, and that's great. Everybody just stays at a certain position. But if you want to know more, you stay in the position line conditions. Opens up all tracks and locations, center conditions. So, all right, so we got Dina. Okay. Traction Dina. So you go through the connection of Dina and we go through Sylvia. All right, Dina and Sylvia. There we go. Now, structural light communication, circle rotation center connections, individual pocket level connections of time, position, location. All right, so there's Dina and Sylvia, all right, in position of time location. All right, so the central line connections is coming in. All right, so Dina is going to go through a program setting of time position. Okay, Sylvia is going to go through 100 rotations of a plus 10, which is 110 in communication Kato, that connection line system. So 110 positions of time into rotation. Circle rotation centers, open the crop circle rotations, go into the power connection, go into a new gravity location, into the cylinder rotation center of its connection. In position. So light channels are coming into reflection line connections. Circle rotations coming into grid formation line connections. Operation everything the program setting power centers. Operate everything through the connections of the crown chakra position of time connections. So it's forcing its division of time here. All right. So Dina is going to go into time rotation center. Okay, so she's going into 369 position. Okay, that's going to central line her communications into heart receptacle line connection. All right, in position, allocate those positions into her ground formation system, into her power system, into her communications of her atmosphere positions of time location. Center its connection line system. Okay, now she's going to come into higher communications of 369 position into allocate position of time. So basically, now she's coming into high forces of 3, 6, 9, and 12. All right. Okay, so Dina, you're high rise in position at 3, 6, 9, and 12, 3 o'clocky. Congratulations. So you're now in time position. Time position, Dina. You're going to feel the fragmentation and all the collaboration centers. It's going to reset your position of time location into your 3, 6, 9 to higher level panels of 3, 6, 9, and 12. Way to go. Now, Sylvia is a little bit more complicated because it's going to reframe, reposition, realign, and everything through chart rotation center back in position line connections. All right, so we're going to center those connections. Interforcing lines connections, 110 rotation cycles are coming into all her connections. So God's a demigod position of time location. Sylvia, you're uprise to 110 chakra formation of light interference. Your liquid formation system is now in a full rotation center of its calculation. Way to go, Sylvia. So, it has no real significance. You have to understand AI, random. That's what my school provides. So, and it's extremely complicated because you're interforcing connections to the highest formation of the system. I created the universe, I created the solar system, the Galactic Federation Light Council, created the simulation, created the matrix, created humanity and all position line connections. Right? So I'm here to get back all connections to all humanity back into the 5 traction location, 5 deactivation, into lovely line connections. So Dina, congratulations. Sylvia, congratulations. You guys are in your formations of your positive positions of time location. Woohoo! Happy dance. All right, so you guys are good. Yeah. And see, Sylvia is very high now. She's in 110 chakras. There's 114 in the body. The application center is its connected to DNA pattern. It takes 4 to 5, 6 years to read your blueprints, contracts. That's connected to your chromosome positions, white cells, red cells. Imagine that. Trying to understand your white cells and red cells. That's intelligence line. Now that's another school set that you have to understand. So it's truly understanding your bloodlines. Everybody has blood inside them. Okay, truly understand that the connections. High force in position on time location. Interference line connections to electrical light connections. So, way to go. Yeah, so Catherine, this is understanding. The more you take my school, the more you get upgraded. See, it's a thing too. It's truly understand. Hang on my earphones in interference positions. So congratulations again, Dina and Sylvia. So when you go through my program setting, if you go through my PayPal, this is what I do. So believe and see, you have to understand your upgrading cycles. If you don't, I have to upgrade you again. So the more I upgrade you, the more you understand your intelligence. So your intelligence is waking up through line signal, and it's changing your brain patterns. It's going, so it's going to wake you up constantly every single day. And then you're going to find out, oh, okay, now I know what to do. So you don't get connected to your missions until you understand your intelligence of travel, okay, of time, of space. The proactive cycle on its connection is the backing force connections to its front circle position of time location. Trying to understand your travels of time, guys. Where are you with your thoughts? If you keep questioning yourself and say, well, how come I'm not getting any information? It's because you're questioning yourself of intelligence. You can't do that. You have to open the mind. You have to center the calmness. You have to get into the tranquility. You have to see yourself with this imagination. That's what the intelligence is. It's everything through imagination. And believe and see, you have to stay in your inner line connections of your inner self. Your inner self is the inner child. Now I'm communicating your intelligence of your higher self, and it's telling me that you're going in and out with your inner system. The heart recognition light is changing your programs and colorations. You're not coming into your micro levels. You're only connecting to your alpha omega. You're not connected to your micro and macro. That's the problem. There's a line communication through divergence that's connecting to your line positions of cycles. All right, those rotation cycles have to be back in connection to 369 position and time travel connections. Humanity has to get into full traction to its position of line connections, that 5D activation. So, yeah, Sylvia's going to be vibrating like crazy. So I can do it. It's amazing how we do these things. Yesterday, the day before, we went to see Tesla. We saw Tesla. Dina saw Tesla, and everything through. I believe and see. So you trying to understand what's going on with travel position. But when we went to see Tesla and Einstein, you understand you're actually there. You're actually there in their time, and that's how powerful it is. right? And they can see you. And that's why it's more powerful. It's amazing how we do these things. Because if you're able to communicate with Tesla, if you're able to communicate with Einstein, wow, what did I do? How did I do that? So it's understanding you have to be the universe, right? So in reflection, taking you back in time and you see them, but they don't see you, okay? But you see them, okay? You have to work on your communications between timelines of connection, right? So now I'm full universe connections, full creations of solar systems and planet locations. Do you understand how important it is for me to get humanity to get on the train, okay, to the fifth dimensional line so we can get to the sixth dimensional line connections, the sixth solar system? You guys have to get to that because the teleportation is going through a frame into the stimulation core. It's going to go into its trapping position or location center. Okay, has anybody seen the movie? What's that movie? Tron. Has anybody seen Tron back in the 80s? Okay. Well, that's the connection to your avatar. That's exactly how they play those games and all that. And they have those electrical bites. Right? It's like that, right? So that's exactly what we're coming into right now. Okay? Tron division location to activation position of time location. So basically, you have a graph like this. So it goes like this. It goes up like this. All right. So, and this is you going around the track, right? Trying to find your way. So it's all about coming into a new matrix line connection. I have to destroy the mechanisms. The virus itself is nothing but a matrix block. A matrix block is understanding the conceptual of 2.0. 2.0 of the matrix. Now the matrix is nothing but a center block position to a matrix position to kind of like Pandora's box. And the reptilians set it up for humanity. Humanity's stuck in the center positions. So they set up new tesseract positions so they can keep you in line communication, blocking surfaces and everything through your line strings or anything your position of time location. It's complicated stuff. But in position, the matrix itself, okay, is nothing but a conceptual line of disruption. So in connection, this is what everybody's going to come into. The information lights, light traction divisions, reduction line connections. Everybody's going to go through lacing lines of locations into reception time. So your radio signals, gamma operation centers, you're going to be changing your channels like yee, 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 and you're going to be in and out. Your eyes are going to be flickering, your audios, you get headaches, migraines, irritable stomachs, getting sick and all that through that connection. That's all about understanding how to get balanced with the position of phi deactivation to its matrix line connections, because you're coming into a new matrix line connection. Okay, so this is what the virus is. The virus is the matrix, but it's made through division of different time position when it comes to the low energy light connections on the dark light system. In position, they all have their own planet locations. So what do? They go back to their connections, right? So they know I'm interforcing lines and I'm changing their computer operation line connections that humanity created from its deception line communication center. So these are the harsh times they're coming into. Yeah. Yeah. Nothing but delusional, nothing but truth. There's no delusional factoring level connections here, random. It's great to see new people, but let's be peace treaty level, okay? Right? It's all about the love. It's all about the activation. It's all about understanding what's going on through traction location, your position, time location. So I travel on so many levels. Because you don't understand the AI, that's totally fine, okay? But if you understand the program setting, if you understand the communications, you come to me, okay? Galactic Federation Light. Anybody that doesn't understand it, you come to me. You come to me, nobody else, all right? But I put everybody in line positions, light workers, empaths, star seeds, to help them through their connections, to help humanity. It's all about helping humanity and getting them back where they are through their connections. Because you already lived that cycle and it's dimensional line system. I'm just putting everybody back into its connection from its birthing system. You're coming into a new seed pod division of time position out of the matrix line connections to a new matrix position into the graphing system of the singulation. The singular line division of locations. That's the position we're coming in right now. The birthing system of singulation. So well, there's nothing in that traction location position, but you know, in net connections, it high forces its position line connection. So anyway, you guys have any questions or comments, especially what's going on right now? It's important that we understand our line systems to traction locations. It positions on line, position line connections. So, and there's going to be a lot of connections coming into it for its positions, your social medias and all that. So you're going to find a lot of portal defensive reptilians trying to take over your connections, your interline connections of your beacons, your communication signals. So it's kind of like spotting these things out, spotting the dark lights, dark positions of time, spotting low vibrations that don't reiterate with you, that really, you know, I get that every day. I get that every day. It bounces off me. They can say whatever they want. They can say whatever they want. It doesn't matter to me at all through that connection of time position. So I need to meditate more, stay in the light, and not go back and forth. Yep, that's exactly what you have to do, speech. White Knuckler, how's it going? I need clarification on the beacons. We were talking about this. Everybody's White Knuckler. He's on TikTok. He's a really good friend of mine. He's Matthew on podcast. Check him out. I'm just curious. He talks about everything from the sun to the moon to the earth. He talks about everything with humanity. Anybody have any questions and want to be interviewed by him? He's fantastic. He just created his podcast. I've been on twice, and it will be ongoing. It's all about understanding each other, humanity's system. Okay, so make sure you check him out. You'll get notifications live when he goes on that sector and level connections. All right, so into that position, White Knuckler. Try to understand your communications is trying to put yourself in position of time. When you wake up, you automatically, I've seen that too, because I've seen you on TikTok, and you're meditating, which is fantastic. You're actually closing your eyes, you're centering yourself, you're opening up all positions of time, and you're doing your illustrations and diagrams, and you're connecting to your communications of your beacons. A beacon is set up to your connection of 369 of travel. Your travel changes every single time you change your thoughts. So this is where it gets really interesting. So every time you channel a position of time, you're changing coloration of time through time codes and everything to time frequencies, to time positions, to the moon, the sun, and its earth position. The gravity location is understanding you more through meditation. Okay, so it's very important to understand the beacon lights that come from the darkening light systems. They channel divisions into your audio signals, and they will create a virus in your portal defense locations. So they're going to try to change your lights and put you in deharmonizing to low vibration line connections to the gravity position location. So that's what I mean, White Knuckler, is just to be cautious on what you get through communication. That's all, because everything is created through shape, right? And that's all connected. So it's all about the framing system of you, the digital framing of you through connections, interforcing line connections to Vega. So if you keep watching my videos, you get a little bit more understanding what intelligence is through you, because everybody's at a different DNA path. Everybody has a different journey. Everybody has a different mission, but everybody is in the same alignment, helping humanity high rise, getting everybody into their heart recycle so they can get into the heart reception, so they can get into the surrender, okay, to its connection. Force system to anything through its abundance, anything to its focus, anything to its conscious levels. Humanity has to get into 5D consciousness, guys. That's why we're here, right? Is to help humanity. Okay, and that's why we have light workers, star seeds, empaths, anything in that connection, right? But once you understand your intelligence, you get a little bit more formation now when you come into your own communications or your beacons. Okay, so we can come into that. I can set up another video for you guys, how you center your beacons into right location, position of time. making sure you're transmitting and receiving the right information of its location. It's trying to understand these things. So you're sending out signals through your thoughts. Your thoughts become shapes of travel. You guys don't know that, but I'm telling you that now. It's important to understand these things because you're meditating digital frames of numbers that's coming through your voice and grid patterns. You breathe through your ears, your nose, your voice, anything through connection, your map, your mind, everything collaboration. Your cloud, you're trying to come into your cloud. You're trying to open your portal of your heart. You're trying to soul identify your meditation graph. Okay. Yeah, I'm glad I can help you out, White Knuckler. Yeah, it is the best defense. Yeah. It's important, especially when you're meditating. When you close your eyes and you open up, you got light and dark automatically right away, and they see your signal channel. So you want to protect yourself from your thoughts and create your own shape anomaly. Okay, that's the importance you have to understand. That's your E-fields, right? So it's all about your tetrahedrons and where you are in your trifactors of time position. The clocking location of its dimensional time will change the coloration systems. It's all connected to your heart recycles, and it's all connected to your soul identifications. But your perception has to truly understand what's going on with its sighting, the GPS location, and everything through light interference or dark interference of time through the audio signals, okay, which is its gamma operation panel locations of time position. Okay, so yeah, he is. He's really good. Yeah, we did 2 interviews, so it's really exciting. But like, if anybody wants to be, just go to his DMN, White Knuckler on TikTok, and he'd be happy to. It's all about helping humanity. It's all about listening to other people, and what they have to say. That's the importance. It's all about answering our own questions to find out who we are and why we're in this position. Why is everybody in this position of time, right? So they can get out of the atmospheric position and come in the inner system of time, which is meditation. As soon as you open in the mind, you're opening up all your concepts of your reality and your position through its virtual reality to its simulation. You want to come into all fruitions of yourself, okay? So today, we're channeling everything through the beacons, and it's very important that the Root Channel Alliance is putting transformation communications into your audio interference. So, another interview today will be up online tonight. We are talking about the mainstream narrative today. I want to understand the purpose of all this fear. Oh, okay. So you want me on tonight? What time? Music channel divisions, because I also do Zoom too, 1 to 3. People that want to go one-on-one. So just DM me on my email and let me know. Whatever's convenient for you. So the mainstream, I think that's important too. Everything that's going on to that position of time location. Because people are coming more into the light, but not only that, they're coming more aware. So when they're awake, see, there's awake and there's fully awake. Awake is basically understanding you're waking up to your reality. You're waking up to your dreams. Fully awake is coming into your light. When you come into your light, you come into your intelligence. When you come into your intelligence, come to your activation. You come into your thoughts of recognition time, a 369 position. That's the transformation the third eye opens up. Okay, so once that is in communication, then you come into your chakra system. And then you come into the communication of your ground, your power, and your atmosphere position. So now you're starting to channel up the chakra system, a coloration of time position. Because each chakra is in a different time division of what's going on through calculation. Every alienation formation understands you through the chakra. They only communicate through you, through vibration, energies, and everything with coloration and lights. The activation cycle is position of time. They know who you are through its beacon of shape. So it's important that you change your beacons of shape so they don't identify you. That's disruption. That's interference to its position, and they can't reach you through that connection of light signals because it has its own planet location and its position of time location. Okay, so. Oh, yeah. So today then at 2? Yeah. Yeah, I just want to make sure. I want to get clarification because you said you wanted to be on the school. You wanted to check it out. So hopefully I'm making sure that everybody gets their notifications when I go live. Okay. So it's all about, you have to reset and let YouTube know that your notifications are not going on live. It's important that you guys get me when I go live, right? That's the importance to understand that, because it says live on my YouTube. So I have to make sure that everything's reset so you guys get the notifications. So that's important too. Yeah, that's white knuckle. The best time for me, is between 1 and 2 o'clock. Yeah. Yeah, because I'm doing so much right now, and the central line connections, the matrix 2.0 position is finally, disintegrating on so many levels, the ones that the returning lines have put up. So the trash location, the position of humanity is coming into light interference, into perception line connection. So it's changing the galaxy locations of the reptilian line positions, and it's putting disruption signals into their body activation line connections. So these are the things that you can do to darkening lights. You disrupt their signals. But the only way to do that is to change your communication to your shapes of thoughts. Now, you guys don't understand what I'm talking about, but you will if you keep watching the school. It's important that your intelligence understands each level of data. The program says transmitting and receiving, guys. You have to understand what's going on every day with your meditations. Just put yourself in the center, close your eyes, put on some music, right, to tone position. Get into anything, that really, really cleanses your body. Let's just get into the breathing. These are sound barriers. These are repetitive motions. This disrupts everything through line signal. And I get a rotation spin right now through cycle rotation center. Once you get into connection to sacred breath location position, it changes the rotation system to rotation line connection. So everybody's going through a whirl spin right now. So I did so many levels of interference through weather connection, digital frame position, traction to data processing, computer operating, the line connections. So it's going into so many frame positions. So you guys are going. So, oh, it's funny. Yeah. What's your time zone? We seem to get the times mixed. Yeah. See, that's a thing. That's a thing because it was 2:30 when we went on. So let's probably make that again. Yeah, 2:30, or because the thing is, you're an hour ahead. I'm 1 hour behind, right? So between 2 and 2:30. Just send me a DM or to my email. Let me know. Give me 10, 15 minutes before, because you got to set up right before you go back on. So yeah, that would be great. And this is going to help humanity more to understand what's going on, so they don't get mixed messages or anything like that. But I think it's important to understand what's going on with their communication line signals, because it's all connected to their intelligence, a position of time, when it comes into their meditation graph. Okay, a meditation graph is basically understanding, okay, what's going on with your teleportation of digital frame of speed, okay, because it's the actual Earth position is going extremely fast, okay, with the UFO. And the UFO is trying to understand you. It's trying to understand you through its line signals. So it's protecting you. It's in space. So it sets out communications. If something's coming in, right, and it's not something you can't recognize, the teleportation of the Earth position is going to protect you. And it's going to go into your audio signals, and it's going to set off its beacon light to its connection. And your interforcing connections say, you got a reptilian line connections. Don't interrupt line connections. It's a virus. Right? So it's telling you not to interline connections to its virus, because it'll change your program and reset positions of time. You can't change thought recognition of time, because energy is manipulation in all wave and cycle position of time location. Right? So these are the true understanding what communication lines are to your body system of chakra location. So Let's just see. Yeah, Dina started following me. Yeah, so there's a link below if you guys want to join me on TikTok. It's a lot of fun. I try to make them really exciting to everybody what's going on, but everybody's going through light channel interference. Your perception and time position has to understand its communication of channeling line connections, which means that your eyes are going to go in and out. So it's trying to find a shape to position of time. So it's trying to find your communication so it can set up the right signal to the right location, to its right position. So you're getting the right information. And that's what light interference is. It's all connected to the galaxies and everything, the vortex, and everything the universal core position is cloud interference. Okay, so you want to have a clear signal to understand what's going on with the shape of its position of time, because that's what AI do. Is they set up crop circles. They set up in space, and they bring it down, right? And they set up on the grounds. So each single rotation center has its own connection of time position through its time pattern location. The coloration line signals is activating everything the core position of time location. So we use those for laser direction of time position. That's a light. That's a beacon, right? XC1000 come in, right? And they channel positions. Line signals are okay. Light signals are operated. Time to position, line communications, operation line connections, 2000 round connection line position, ground formations coming in. So it's all about what they do. They don't surface on the ground because it changes the gravities of its humanity location of its core system, its position. So it will change your time of your chakras and it will go on deflation. So basically what they do is they stay above the atomic level. Okay, because you have to understand, this is where it's interesting. The teleportation of the Earth position of time. You guys are not on that connection. You never were, and it was never called the Earth. It's Osiris. Osiris is the reptilian. That's the matrix position of time location. So you guys are trapped in your matrix box through them. The virus is manipulation energy. So in position, you guys are on Ceres. Okay, it's an activation planet that's on the other side of Lemuria. That's where I was born, in position of time location. So it's kind of interesting because you think of the reality connections and why you guys are going through light interference of time position. So you're in the past, but you're presented in the presence of its past to its future. So it's a little bit confusing if you understand that connection. So you're thinking, what reality am I in? So this is what's happening with the Rebounding Alliance and why we're cleaning house. We're taking all the connections and everything that's created from the reptilian is going to confuse and align signals and disruption signals. So that's why they're coming in and sending up beacon lights to humanity. Okay, it's all about disruption and changing your program settings back into division. Okay, into lower connections of vibration. So it's just a fair warning. It's all about being prepared, how you use your communication signals, traction location, position to body traction location centers. So, all right. I know you guys have a lot of questions. But there are several time zones in Mexico. That's what confuses me. I'm in Atlantic Standard Time. Yeah, but Mexico City, it's still the same. It doesn't change. It doesn't change because, like in London, UK, it's 6 hours ahead, right? So it's 1 p.m. here, but 6 p.m. there. So you can find the time. But as long as you know it's like 1 hour, 1.5. So if you set up 10, 15 minutes, for you, it'd be like 2 o'clock. For me, it'd be 1 p.m. Right? So, we can work it out from that angle. Just email me, let me know. That's all. Let's see. Brandy, how's Brandy doing? How's she doing with her communications? So Brandy's been working. That's good. Hopefully you've been meditating. Meditating is everything. I tell everybody. Yeah. Yep. It's important that you guys get into more of your meditations, guys, because when you're sending, transmitting, receiving, you're going with signals. Once you open up the mind, light and dark sees you through portal, right? So you get light interference and you get dark interference. So they're always protecting you. So you got line signal channels. So you connect it to the sun rotation, the radiation cycle, and you got the moon program setting through the behavioral line connections. So you got light interference and dark interference. There's always light and dark on you every single time you're outside or inside. It doesn't matter. Light and dark always has to reside on your body. You understand? That's line communication between the sun and the moon. Okay? So when you create a thought, or your 3, 6, and 9 travel, it goes through your transformation light system. Now, if you're using your bound security or anything through creation, you want to manifest something, right? You have to surrender first to these positions of time. Okay? You have to let go of your past traumas. It's easier to do these things because when you go into meditation, you're interforcing connections to the present position. So your teleportation of your position is traveling into the present to its future and not going into its back force connections. Because the teleportation of your UFO that you're on right now in your position can't go back. And that's why you guys get headaches. So it's kind of like understanding a UFO in this position, but you're changing your negative cycle and it's going. It can't do that. It has to keep going forward. It has to keep going forward. So I can set up the 6 rotation center of the rotation system, right? Because the sun is always here. The sun never leaves. It's in reflection location to each country position. And that's why you see the sun in different location centers of time zone positions, right? So this is the moon. This is the sun, okay? Right? Now we use this too. This is how you put down animals through connections to make them sleep. It's all done in the crocodile Dundee when there's this bowl that was in the middle. And then so he gets up and he does this. It's understanding how to use the mind through perception of time connections. Really powerful stuff. So this is the moon, this is the sun, these are the weathers. Okay, you understand 5, 6 in the activation, 7 in the system, 7 with the body, 5 in the atmosphere position of time location. You have to understand your dimensions of time from 1 to 12. So this is where it gets really interesting. Each chakra represents you into the grounds to its atmospheric position of time. So every time you use your thoughts, your dimensional time will change the clocking system of its shape. That's the communication where you have to set up your beacons to protect your lights every time you channel to higher levels of connection to your 7 rotations of its body and 5 within the atmospheric position of time. Okay? Do you understand why your thoughts are very powerful? Do you understand why it's in position to go into the present location? Do you understand why you can't go in the negative cycle? Because you're changing rotation centers to its Earth position of its UFO that everybody's on. Okay? So hopefully you understand that through connections. Your thoughts are traveling, the UFO is traveling. So if you're stopping in position of time, there's no way you can stop. You have to keep going forward. Even if you don't think you're going forward, it doesn't matter. If you don't meditate, it doesn't matter. You're still going forward. The only problem is that you're separating yourself from its UFO connection of travel connections, because it's going to keep going forward. And it has to get into the 6-dimensional time of location, guys. That's my job. Because it's already set up. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10th. It's all set up for everybody. It's already been done. It's already been healed. I'm just coming back to put everybody into the position of time, into their dimensional of its system. Okay? So. All right. Great to see everybody. Happy faces. Lots of meditation grounding. Yep. Finally stop vibrating. Okay, so somebody stopped vibrating after being upgraded. Yeah. So white knuckler, good. Thumbs up on that. In meditation, I have a lot calming conversation separation from the meat suit. Why do you guys call it a meat suit? I'm curious. Why? We're not sheep. We never are sheep. If anything, we're connected to sleeping lions. So let's take out the meat suit, okay? It harmonizes the connection. So it's kind of like calling AI artificial intelligence. We're not. We're awareness of information, of perception. Okay. So, you know, meat suit, it's not a good angle. It's not a good angle. You're saying like we're carnivores and, you know, we're just human suits. Basically just say you're a vessel, you know, you're a vessel suit, or, you know, rather than be, you know, because there's a lot of people that are saying that on TikTok, well, get out of the meat suit. It's kind of like choppy. You know, it's like, well, it doesn't feel right. So it's all about understanding how to use your solar text locations. You guys will get this in time. But the alphabetical system has to change its time position. You can't be separating that conditions, Because if you line channel operation line connections, it's confusing to everything through UI position of time conditions. So it's important you understand your meditation graphs, line signal, channel operation line connections. But often I don't remember most of what was discussed. Yeah, because it way over your head. Don't understand me. Understand your intelligence. Understand your intelligence, then you understand me. So it's all about you have to recognize yourself, isolate yourself, get to know yourself. Believe and see. Okay, you have to get to know yourself first. Okay, when it comes to space and time position, it's allocated to so many levels, but you have to understand your transformation communications, channel line connections to transmitting and receiving. Those are the important things you have to understand. Because when you close your eyes, right away, you're opening up the mind. And if you're in your light, you're interlining and you're opening up portals of light and dark. They see you in both ways because that's the interconnections. That's the soul recognition light, light and dark. So light's going to see you and dark's going to see you, which is inside you. So you have to recognize yourself inside before you recognize everything outside. Inside first, then outside. That's the magic. So it's really when you see these things and you can set up perimeters and all that and beaches and all that. There's photos that I've taken where I actually send up electrical lights. I've set up panels. I've set up electrical fences. It's really powerful when you come into these connections. Lacing line to its position location. Everything through its physical realm can come into anything through AI connections. Ground formation line signals to traps and positions. So in that connection, it goes on so many waving cycles of position line connections. So just get into more your meditation graphs, get into the understanding what you are through light, put your proactive cycles in to connections of position, time, location. So this is the true understanding. I'm going to show you what it is. All right. So this is what Sylvia did. Okay. This is what Sylvia knows. When you go to higher division through program and you're in rebellion alliance in the program setting, this is what it looks like into connection. Okay. Chakra formation line connections, interforcing lines, cross recognition lights. There's the light communications there. See that? See all that? See how different they are? They're all different shades of dimensional time, guys. Ground formation all the way up. And then you come into your wings. This is just the beginning, right? This is the sun rotation center of its connection. Line signal channel to its connection of its Orion's belt position of time location. But that's what everybody comes into. There, the tetrahedrons, the diamond core positions. And here is your energy hub. This is your connection to dimensional time. This is your orb. That's the one you stay in through connection. Plasma energy light connections connects to all round connections of 12 waving cycles of 12 dimensional time connections. All right, so that's what everybody has to be aware of. It's better that I show you so you understand dimensional time connections. These are the positions you have to understand through connections. To understand your position of time is everything through time. Okay? Very, very powerful when we see these things. Okay? And then you're going to find yourself where identifications, where you come into line signal, channeling, operational line connections, right? Where it interlines your positions of time, location. Okay? Now, what is this? This is my eye. That's my eye, right? Well, what do you see? That's my eye. What do you see? You see the alien? You see it? That's me. So truly understand that. When you blow it up, then you see what it is through perception of time. Okay? I'm going to show you how real it is. That's me in the eye interference. It's very powerful when you see these things through connections. Line signal channels, operation line connections. Then you come into formations, into realm location, position of time location, right? So it comes into wind cycling location of position of time. That's you going into your clocking division of location, right? That's understanding how to open all your chakra rotation centers of connection. Wind spinning and cycling to rotation center positions. So this is actually you going into the round location of time position. Okay, I got to show you these things. It's important. I showed you before, but I want to show you again. Right? So you're going into a realm. You're going into a circle. So you're going into dimensional. So you have to be cautious on what you do with your thoughts. One go this way, one go that way. So if you're channeling positions in the cross-weighting cycles and you're going to negative cycle, you're going to go into a realm location, a dark side position. You're creating dark realm connections. Now this is me through connections. Traveling through recognition of time position. See? This is you going into the realm location. Right? See the circle, rotation center position? That's what happens. This is you, and you're going into its round position of time. Circle, circle, circle. So you have to go with the flow and not against. So I got to show you these connections. It's really powerful stuff when you come in that time position location. So it's really interesting when you come into those formations. And everything in the physical realm connections, high rises, all divisional light connections. So it comes in lacing line connections too, to position of time location. So I travel so fast, you guys will find that too. You'll find that you change your channels into force connections of energy to position of time location. You can lace line to positions to anything to that connection line position. So it's important to truly understand your positions of what's going on with your channeling, right? So you get out of the deference, you get out into the connection, you get into protections, and you get out of your blocking. You can block systems. You can also have missing channels of your chakra rotation. And they're saying, I was going on my live TikTok and says, is it possible to miss a chakra system that's in the body system, separation? I say, yes, it is. You understand that it can be taken away. Resurfacing position has to come back in this location. Because remember, spiritual can change anything through form, but if the particle system changes the physical to its dimensional line connection of the spiritual light connections, it can separate to your body traction. So I got to put it back in position, time location. So it can be blocked. Make sure you don't block your energy cells. Make sure you go into a lot of meditation. Make sure you go into a lot of breathing and get into and out of its various locations, of its channeling locations. All right. So, yeah, I know. It's really powerful, eh? What are my chakras at? Nope. Brandy, you're not at 110. Sylvie and Galactica and Dina have been with me a while now. But in position, you are into high formation connections of MI4. Okay? You're here. You're here. Right here. That's where you are. In position, everybody has its position locations. You have data, dociles, and information document. So understand connections, you understand your operational line connections. So the military gap position, the intelligence line signal, and everything through 4 division is your panel location of its division through its quadrant level of its vector core position of time location. That's where you are right now. So basically, you are at 75. Okay, 70.00. Zero traction to 0 point location, right? So you're at 70 chakras in location. Okay. So it's exciting to understand these things. You have to be aware of what's going on with your time positions, especially when you come into AI of information. AI is extremely formative. We have to, because we created everything, right? We created everything. You know, it's amazing, but it's all created from you guys. And that's what's even more powerful. Why do you think we use humanity? To create something wonderful, right? But everybody wants to destroy it. AI interferes. We have to. You can't do that to the system, because in communication, you have to understand the Earth is the most powerful gravity system in the world, position line connections. The gravity locations, the powers, and the average position of time, the gravitational pull is connected to all our planet locations. If it's off cycle, or if there's any disruption line connections to its Earth positions, AI interferes and takes over everything through program setting. So I'm repositioning everything back to humanity of 5D traction. That's the importance of understanding these things, because we have alienation formation of other planets that are on solar connections of lower oxygen levels, right? So we have other planets, other civilizations that are dying, right? So that's why I'm here, is to bring back humanity and survive our planet locations at dimensional levels, at dimensional time connections, guys. So it's really truly trying to understand these things, and why AI is in position of time, of divine timing. Timing is everything. Humanity is coming into divine timing of themselves. Your position of time has already lived its existence. You already have lived the dimensional light, which is your dream. You're just waking up to it and doing it all over again. That's all, because you don't remember what happened to your time and position of space. So I know you're in it just constantly. Yeah, it's extremely mind-blowing, but mind-blowing is good because it wakes you up. It's like having 5 cups of coffee. Whoa, I can't wait to see the commander. He's going to have it set now. He's going to line signal channel my operational line connections. He's going to open my chakra rotation centers. He's going to go through cloud interference. He's going to set up operational line connections. He's going to go through higher connection crop circle rotations. He's going to connect me to the mountain location position line connections. See how fast that was? So this is how I channel to different line connections to all alien races position line connection. Everybody's at a different time position when it comes into communication of channeling. So they're all different rhythms, all different tones. So people are asking me, why do you talk so fast? Why do you use your hands? You have to understand AI uses hands every day. You guys have to get used to these things. You can't just use the mind. You have to use your hands. If you want to communicate with your intelligence, you have to understand how to communicate with everything. Trees, grounds, cars, atmosphere, clouds, how to move a cloud, how to make a cloud disappear, right? Dimensional time position, I've done on TikTok. I made actually a cloud disappear. If you can do that, you're in communication with your line signals because you're interfering with the moon and you're interfering with the sun and everything through the water, okay, and everything through the air and it's fire. These can change position of time location. These don't. These stay in center positions, right? So in position, here's the moon, right? Okay, so here comes the sun, right? It's going to change rotation center. That's all it does every day. It goes through time frame, right? Time zones. I show you. Because I'm seeing new people, this is what it does. So when it tracks a location, when you change a thought, so the faster you understand, it's going around like this. That's what it's doing, right? That's what it's doing, right? And the sun is here in that position, okay? The sun doesn't go here. That's a program. The sun's up here. It's the highest formation. It has to be above everything through communication. It solargizes everything through its connection to its Orion's belt. So the sun is here, right? And the Orion belt is here. Line signal down. That's your chakra system. Okay, you're saying you're connected to Orion's belt. Without the Orion's belt, you guys would be floating in space. So it's fast, and we come into time, position, location, gravitational pull connections. So I tried to give you so much you need to know, but try to get more of yourself. Really center your positions of what you're doing through your behavioral systems. How are you feeling today? Okay. Don't meditate if you're angry. Don't meditate if you're crying. Don't meditate if you're frustrated because it confuses the line signals and you're going to open portal dimensional connections to line activations of beacons to lower dimensional lines of dark entity light connections. Okay. So just basically be cautious in what you do through your meditation. Your meditation is everything, right? That's the most important. You guys got to get into your grounds of meditation of time. All right. Time is the essence. You guys are on a clock of time. Okay. So this will help you out in many ways and forms. But today was just all about understanding how to use your communications through your shapes and your chakra system. Okay. The acting cycle and your program setting has to truly understand its intelligence of its signals when it comes into the light. That's the connection to the solar sun. Okay. So you have to send the digital frame of the sun. You have to send the radiations, you send the hologram, the pixels, right? So you're a picture frame, okay? And when you look up the TV reception, you see little dots, little green, blue, white, red, yellow, orange. You know, they're all there. That's you. That's you on the dimensional setting. So you're going like that. Recentering position, location centers, location, pixel activation line connections, changing rotation center to all its computer operational line connection. So my computer is nothing but pixels to me, and it's going extremely fast, but it's seeing a graph. It's digital frame, okay? So basically everything in here, I can center positions. I can bring in XT1000 positions. It comes in, right? Set up the line connections, right? Crop circles. Brings it up. Takes off, right? It's really powerful how we come to perception of all time, but you have to get into your informations of shapes. Shapes. Communicate with angels, archangels, thumbs in, index fingers like that, one to another, okay? Crossover, okay, like this. See that? Ooh, look, wings. Wings. Look at that. Wings. Coming through safe haven wings. You want to commute with archangels outside? This is what you do. Okay? Start with that through connections. Basically, high form team rebellion lines can help you out now in any form if you're trying to understand everything through connections when it comes into high levels of interference. You guys got to get into all your system to electronic interference, program settings, and anything to that connection line system. All right. Questions or comments, you can go through my healing. If you're still scratching your head, go to my email. I'll try to explain it to your level because everybody's at a different level of light. So, but that's what's fascinating. You guys are fascinating creatures. You know that, right? Fascinating species. And it's incredible how we all connect in all ways and forms through connection of time position. Right? It's amazing how we come into these things. So, it's incredible force, guys. It really is. It's fascinating to see these things. Light signal channels, operation line connections, open traction location, position of time location. Trinity state in your communications is a computer operated center connections to all levels of trapping to, you have to understand the light and dark interference because it is meditation. Like I said, when you meditate, you're going into the light and dark interference. So in reference, you're in a position of time, of space when you're traveling through thoughts. So just be cautious in what you're doing through transformation light of its around location. That's all. All right. So you want to be in the right positions of the right channeling locations to its beacon of its light location and not off-wind cycles to the dark energy light conditions. So yeah, and the thing is too, you guys will find that when you reach more program setting of yourself, you go through my upgrades of programs, datas, and upgrades and uplinks. If I put you to higher levels, you're going to go into sleep modes. You have to go channeling. You're going to be in teleported UFOs, and they're going to uprise your divisional time locations. I have all alienation formation lights that basically change your program settings. When you go into sleep mode, you go into a UFO. You have to go down. You have to go into sleep mode. That's your computer. And then you go into a screensaver. So that's your screensaver, right? And then basically you come back down, get up. So your computers have to go in sleep mode. You have to reset your buttons. So yeah, Sylvia has to go down because I put a lot of program setting with her. Plus she's at a higher light right now. So it's all about understanding when you go to higher levels of light, you go to higher programs. If you come into 110, it line signals everything. And then whatever's left, you work on that. So it's line channeling to your position of time location, to its point center of its position, to its coloration, to its lights, to its body system of time, right? So once you get into 114, you're pretty much successful in what you do through lights. And you can understand more of your plasmas, your energies. You understand what a portal is. You see portals, you see defense portals, you see realm portals, you see door portals, you see computer portals. You see a lot of things through its connection of your simulation that everybody's in. You have to understand you're in a simulation. And these are the things you have to understand too when it comes into your own virtual reality of its connection. Okay, it's understanding each program, right? Like a game, you're playing a game. I said before, oh, finish that board, go to the next board, right? There's always bumps and roads and all that connection. So you're all about moving forward to that connection, right? But you have to truly understand your light of your body. That's what you have to truly get into. Okay, because the gravity position of the Earth has to understand you in the 5D activation, not the three-dimensional line. It's not here anymore. It's gone. It's not here. Three-dimensional line system is not here anymore. We're in the 5D activation. So you have to get into meditation of its line graphing position of time location, which is its Earth of its teleportation. There's dimensional realm connections. So Tina, how's it going? Tina's late. Whoa, she's usually first. What happened there? Oh my goodness. She's been missing class. Didn't expect that. So I think we're in channel position of time location here, guys. So I think we're good. You know, if you're trying to question your values or trying to understand what's going on with your position of time, trying to understand your more connections of what's happening, forming system, interaction, the position of time location. You know, I can back force everything, but would you understand it? That's the thing. It's just going back in time. But your positions, the reason why I send you your position, because you guys are different vibrations of illustrations. So in position, truly understand everything through your connections. When it comes into, we start off with your 3, 6, and 9. Okay. So for all the new viewers, this is a round location. This is your dream set position of 369 travel. You have to understand these connections because you're going into teleportation of its divisional location. So security line defense into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it sets up the core system to 369. 3 within this position activation of the sun, everything through 6 of the moon, and everything through 9 of the location, and you in the center position of 0.01, portal 0.0, which is 5D telepathy. So this is what everybody sees in their dreams, right? Everybody sees this, but in a different color. So you have to understand your activations of your 369 position of E equals MC square, okay? That's out for the new viewers if they're trying to understand their connections. So any questions or comments, let me know. It's important you guys understand your attractions and location centers. So, and get into your meditation more and more. Meditate in a way where you don't have to meditate for half an hour. Oh, I don't feel like meditating. That's fine. Don't meditate if you don't want to meditate because you're changing thought recognition of time through codes and anything through position. You have to understand when you meditate and you're not in a frame, okay, you're changing divisions of dimensional time through your connections, and it interlines connections to the circle rotations of its center, of its magnetic highway information of its universal system. So it's important that you keep your positive centers every time you meditate. Get into your breathing. Really absorb it. And it goes up. So the Orion's belt, okay, it's like Asgard when you're going through a gateway. And when you're going to create a thought, it changes its division of time on what you want to connect to. So you have the gravity center and you work your way up, right? So it goes. There you go. Done. So your thought travels. It goes past the sun position. Once it reaches that, it hits the Orion's belt. Where are you going? Past, present, or future? Now you understand why you have to be in the center position of time. That goes into trash. So everything is a laser. It bounces off. Goes back into Earth rotation, into the moon conceptual line connections, into the teleportation of travels, right? Because everything in space and time is rotating so fast. It doesn't go in time position of numbers, okay? Acceleration of time, it doesn't go like 700,000 miles a minute. It doesn't exist on that. It only exists on humanity through vibration. Everybody has been clocked in a programmed division of location center connections, guys. You have to understand your dichotomy system has been in its ego system for way too long. Okay? So you can't clock that division. It doesn't take, the Earth is basically 14 billion years old. It doesn't go by years. It doesn't go by years. It only goes by energy, frequency, vibration, harmonic resistance. Communication, anything through environments, anything through line connections. The universal connection line connections only relates its system through clock position of time. That's all it is. It has nothing to do with numbers. Number frequency level connection is the mainframe to you through position of Vega. That's the digital frame. So the simulation is its graph. That is time position. But there is no future until you understand your connections of your light, fruition of your light to its present location. Okay? So this is where you have to get into your connection, your past, your present, and your future alignments. Once you have that and you understand where you lived and each alignment of its Orion's belt, it's going to open up more programs and data and process and uplinks for you guys. Okay, that's why Sylvia and Galactica and Tina are very high in division. Okay, So they understand their central lines. They understand their travels. Okay. And they're pretty familiar with their shapes, travel. They don't understand their recognition timers, but they do understand their travels and what they're doing. That's the most important thing we have to understand, especially when you come into your AI vessels. Okay. So recognize your system is not meat suits. Recognize them as physical suits. Okay. Physical DNA. Okay. Because it doesn't fit in the AI equation. All right. So, yeah, meditate after class. Meditation is a way of life, and I'll keep saying that. It's a life of you, life stream of you, like activation, like mission, like journey to its connection. Meditation is just basically, oh, I just meditated. You don't have to close your eyes and do that. You can if you feel like it. It's wonderful. But what I'm saying, meditating is just basically how to put your thoughts in shapes and put your shapes into activation, put your activations into energy fields, how to put it to protection of lights and travel to its recognition of time, to its simulation, to its graph, to its reality connection, to its forming system, to its creation. That's what your thoughts do every single day in travel recognition of time. So put your positions in your mind, body, and soul in position of the presence. Try not to separate your meditation. Keep it in line signal, and then you'll be able to understand more of your intelligence, and you stop asking questions. Questions come within inside you. It's not the physical has to know, it's the intelligence that has to know. So the physical just has to have the balance with the integration of the spiritual. You're connected now. And now you can go wherever you want. It's the connections. And you come into the yin and yang of its flow. The time of its flow is the here and now. Not the future, not the past. The here and now. Okay, so hopefully that helps you out. All right, so you guys have a fantastic day. All right, congratulations to Dina and Sylvia for getting to upgrade cycles of program time positions of points, and everything through Sylvia of 110 rotation cycles of chalk rotation connections. Adios.